Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to episode 22 of Bliss and Tell. Short statured but long winded. Not sure if today is going to be long winded or not. It probably will be. Sorry for the break last week. We went on a very, very, very last minute to Bangkok, last minute trip to Bangkok. So, but I didn't really have that much to say. But I'm back this week, yay, or not, I don't know. I'm having a bit of a shitty week, so I actually don't have that many highlights. There's someone on Facebook called me super smart yesterday, so that was good. Thank you, Darla. But, I mean, there are always a few highlights, and I think the big highlight of this week is that, well, actually it started last week, but, I'm catching up. Caroline and I now have our podcast, Harper, Bliss and Her Misses, and there are now currently 2 episodes live. You can listen to those when you go to thelesbiantalkshow.com. Plus, yesterday the interview I did with Sheena from the Lesbian Talk Show also aired, so I felt like such a media whore all week, and now I'm recording this. I was thinking, is it not too much of me, for fuck's sake? Sorry. Sorry. Shouldn't swear like that. I don't know. Are my nephews still watching that? My sister should let me know. Yeah, we have podcasts, which is fun. I haven't listened to all of them yet because though I am quite full of myself, I'm not that full of myself that I want to listen to my voice all the time, even when I'm walking. I do listen to a lot of podcasts, though. When I'm on the ferry and on my way to work, when I walk instead of take my bicycle on the way to the Ladylit office, but I don't listen to myself. And if I do, I can recommend, if you're going to listen to this podcast, listen to it at 1.5 speed. I listened to the very first one, the 7-minute one. I could bear that. It makes my voice much more bearable. So this afternoon we will be recording another podcast. So we're making it Friday our regular recording day. Caroline and I, my missus. So when we proposed this title, Sheena said, "Is Caroline not going to be, feel like she's tacked on as your missus?" And I asked Caroline. She said no, because my ego is only a fraction of yours, so it's okay. So this afternoon we will be talking about covers in lesbian fiction, which is a very controversial topic, and we're gonna try and figure out, we're gonna try and figure some things out. Let me just say that. So it should be a good one. Anyway, yeah, this week has just been a very off week. I did start my new book. Well, I started last weekend actually. Which my new book in my new series, which now has a name, the Pink Bean series, after the coffee shop, where a lot of the action is set. And first I named the book "Thank You for Breaking My Heart," but then once I started writing, the title did not make sense anymore. And then just this morning, while I was writing, came up with a new title, which now that I'm a little bit into the story, makes much more sense. And the new title is No Strings Attached. So, sorry, just had my breakfast. Look out for that in June. No, actually, yeah, oh God. This just goes to show what a shit week I had, procrastinating and redoing my schedule. I redid my schedule about 5 times. So, publication schedule and writing schedule, and so I've decided there's not going to be a release in June, but there will be 2 in July, because I want to release the 2 books in my new series, in the Pink Bean series, very close to each other. Plus this gives me a little bit more time, because things are getting a bit crazy with my challenge. But I've just been having a bit of a health issue this week, and been sleeping really bad. And if I don't sleep well, my day is fucked. Sleep is the most important thing, right? So anyway, I did. I mean, in my last Bliss and Tell, I think I said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna write this book in 2 weeks," and that was 2 weeks ago. So this book should have been done by now, but it's nowhere near done. So yeah, never think being a writer is easy. It sucks sometimes. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'll get over it. I shouldn't be recording this today anyway. I mean, I was pretty chipper all week actually, but just not writing very much. Let me see what else is on my list. Um, so what have I been doing this week? I've also been writing, and I've been proofreading Far From the World We Know, which I need to get it ready for my launch team, who will get it on Monday. So I've been doing that, and I'm not hating it like too much. Which usually when I proofread a book, I hate it because I'm at that stage when I've just seen it too many times, and I'm just so sick of it. So it's all right. It's never mind. So these are, I think, the main things I've been doing this week. This weekend is going to be crazy because obviously we need to catch up on, just taking a trip like that and just not working for a few days. I mean, it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. So this weekend, I have to progress on No Strings Attached. I need to continue proofreading Far From the World We Know so I can send it to my launch team on Monday, and I need to get The Road to You ready for the editor. Also, I need to send it by Monday. I was actually supposed to send it today, but missed my deadline. So another one. It's okay. I cleared it with my editor. I mean, it's just after the weekend anyway. It doesn't matter to her. But this is one of the weekends where my crazy plan and taking a week off is definitely catching up with me. So yeah, I'm gonna be working all weekend. I mean, I shouldn't complain about it, I love what I do, but yeah, it's nice to be lazy sometimes. So, but we have drawn a conclusion from my brain is not working very well today. I'm really tired. Didn't sleep well last night. So I have like circles under my eyes. What was I gonna say? Yeah, we have made a decision, and actually, this decision was inspired by the sense of freedom we had when we decided to go on this very impromptu trip to Bangkok last week, because the weather has been so bad in Hong Kong. We said grey sky, rain all the time. So we said, let's just go somewhere warm, and we just go to Bangkok. It's so close and it's so cheap. But just the fact that we were able to do this, just say, oh, fuck it, we'll catch up. We don't have to answer to a boss. And so our boss is our deadlines, which I often don't answer to. But we said, it's fun to be able to experience this sense of freedom. Although, I mean, it always comes at a price because I'll be working over the weekend. Doesn't matter. But then we said, I don't really know what one has to do with the other, but we decided to become digital nomads sooner, and we've decided to leave Hong Kong at the end of this year. Yeah, so one more grueling, hot and humid summer, I think, will be enough. So by the end of the year, we will be leaving Hong Kong. Quick visit home, and then we will be going to New Zealand for a couple of months, and then probably Chiang Mai in Thailand. So we've picked our first nomad destinations, and now we are making a bunch of checklists and seeing all the things that we need to take care of, because you need to start prepping all of this in advance. We need to get rid of all our shit. We don't have that much because we've moved a lot, and we live in a small place, but there's always a lot of stuff. So I think there's gonna be some book giveaways soon. So yeah, that was fun. It was fun to finally make the decision, and also I think because by then we will have been in Hong Kong for 6 years. I think it's been enough. So yeah. So that's good. If you live in New Zealand or Chiang Mai, let me know. Oh, I also wanted to ask if there is anyone who's from New York who has lived in New York who knows New York well. Please get in touch. I need you. No, I'm looking for a beta reader to read The Road to You, which is set in New York. Right, I mean, general someone from the US in general would be okay as well. I mean, but someone specifically from New York wouldn't be bad. Is there anyone out there? So anyway, I think that's about it. Not too many highlights. And next week, what's coming is, well, I need to work on. I need to progress on No Strings Attached, and I hope to share the first few chapters of Far From the World We Know with you. So that should be fun. And I also we came up with a tagline. Actually, Caroline and I came up with it together for Far From the World We Know, and it is, "How far must you run to escape your past?" So that's good. Let's move on to the questions. So the first question is from, I don't know if I'm not going to pronounce this right, so I apologize in advance. Skadia, sorry if I pronounce it wrong. She asked a question on YouTube. What really got you wanting to write romance and erotica? Well, I mean, because I love it so much, you know. I mean, well, I've talked about this before about how I mean, I love lesbian romance and erotica, obviously. I love it a lot, and if I was not a writer, I would be reading it all the time. But yeah, because this is my job now, and I mainly read before I go to bed. That's like always my big chunk of reading time of the day is before I go to bed. And when I start reading it before bed, I can. It's my brain thinks it's work, and I can't sleep. So I cannot read enough lesbian romance and erotica to satisfy my need for that. I don't know. That sounded very wrong. Anyway, the point I was gonna make is that if I had the choice, like, because my other main pastime is watching television. Yay, Netflix! We've been watching Friends. It's still so funny, even though just discovered that Ross is such a douchebag. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Digress. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't know. I kind of forgot my point. If I wrote it down. If I had my way, all I would watch on television is two women falling in love and getting it on, because it's what I love. I love romance. I love erotica. I love when this happens between two women, and that's what I mean. I think this is like a very general thing that when we choose our entertainment, we want to see ourselves reflected, right? So I write it because I love it, and I will one day write that spy novel I've been talking about for so long. But I just love romance because it's fun, and because of the optimism and the happy ending, and all the emotions and the sexuality. Got my Miranda on there for a second. So yeah. This is funny because actually in my notes, which I have here, I had like in capital letters "off topic" because I wanted to talk about a movie we watched, which kind of relates to this. It was a romance, but it was a romance between two men. The movie is called Weekend. We watched it on Netflix. I saw it a couple of years ago in the cinema, and I cried so much in the cinema, and I don't know, because I was with a bunch of friends and none of them were crying. I don't know why. They're all cold-hearted bitches. That's not true. Because my wife is not like cold-hearted, but she doesn't cry when she watches movies. I don't know. And this, oh my god, I cried so much when we watched it on Monday, because it's like these two guys who fall in love over the course of a weekend, and then one of them has to go away. Oh my god, it's so sad, but it's so moving. And the reason why I wanted to watch it again is because the director, Andrew Haigh, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, he's the guy who directed that movie, my favorite movie of the year, definitely so far, or I don't know if it was actually last year. 45 Years with Charlotte Rampling. That movie was so good, and this one as well. I think this was his first movie, and it is just so good. So I can definitely recommend. It's a romance between two men. I have a lot of gay men in my life. So. Anyway, so what was I saying? I don't know. The short and sweet answer, which I failed to give, is just simply because I love it. That's why I write it. So I can't really say that much more about it because that's just what it is. It's the only thing that I really want to write. I just love writing about two women falling in love. I mean, what is better than that? Don't know. No. Okay, so Skadia, thank you for the question. I hope I answered it to your satisfaction. Let's move on to the next from Nikki. Hi, Nikki. Nikki is a regular. So, and Nikki has an interesting question. Is there an age range point of view that you enjoy writing from more than others? I wrote down, yes, cougars. No, because when I was writing Seasons of Love, I had so much fun. Totally unexpected because at first I was going to write this book. I was going to write it from the point of view of Joy, because because I thought I could identify more with her. But then I decided, would it not be more interesting to write it from Alice's point of view? And I did, and I thought, is it not going to be hard to get into this character's head and write about all her feelings and stuff? But it wasn't. It was so much fun. It was the most fun I had writing up until then, because I just enjoyed it so much. But it's hard to say why, but yeah, it's no secret I have a fascination with older women, so maybe that's why. Because when I create the character, I can make them do or say or feel whatever I want, right? So it's like the ultimate manipulation. So, and the book I'm writing now, No Strings Attached, is well, she's not that old. My main character, she's 44, so I would not call that old. I mean, she's older than me, but not by that much. But there's just something about these not so young characters that makes them so interesting to go on this new path of discovery a bit later in life, because they already have all this emotional baggage, and they have but they also have a sort of freedom that I think comes with growing older. So I think it makes for a very interesting combination. So that would definitely be my favorite point of view to write from, I would say. And I think also for this reason, I've never had much interest in writing young adult or about younger characters and the coming out and all of that. I don't know. I mean, maybe also because all of that is, even though I'm not that old, I'm only 37. Yeah, 37. I just, but I came out such a long time ago, so I don't know. I can't really identify with that anymore. Although it's not a matter of identifying, because a character like Alice, I have nothing in common with a character like Alice, right? Absolutely nothing. Yet I did enjoy writing her. So yeah, cougars for the win, Nikki. Hey. Also, I got a lot of feedback from readers that they really enjoyed the fact that my main character was an older woman, because I think when it comes to lesbic readers, I think a lot of the readers might be a little bit more mature in age. I think they enjoy seeing someone from their generation reflected in a book. So I got a lot of response to that. So not everyone always wants to read about the young ones, right? So, yeah. I hope that answers your question, Nikki. Thank you for asking, and ask me another one if you want. So, I have one more question. Well, because there wasn't an episode last week, why don't I just make this one a little bit longer? My wife will not be pleased. So Gert from Belgium, hello. She asks, for you, what is the hardest part of writing a book and what is the easiest part of writing a book? Because, this question, I also wanted to reply to it this week because it's kind of like, apt for me this week because I had such a shit week. So the hardest is always procrastination, resistance. I talked about that in a previous Bliss Tell, right? When I start reshuffling my word count and redoing my schedule, when it's just not flowing, and I don't know. I think I don't know. I was going to say something deeply philosophical, but it escapes me right now. It's just it's always a struggle, but not just being a writer. I think anything, any job, not even any creative job, it's just always, finding that balance and consistency. Consistency actually is my biggest enemy. So the hardest part is, procrastination, and the easiest part is, when the magic happens, because, I always feel it. Actually, I experienced like a tiny hint of magic this week, in this, pretty shitty week. That's when the character I created like starts coming together in my head, and the story starts unfolding, and I can like clearly see it, and I know, all I need to do is sit down and write the story. That for me is when the magic happens, because I'm not like the biggest planner when it comes to my story, because I know that it's gonna come, or whatever I plan is gonna change when I start writing. So when that happens, that's pretty fun, when you can really feel it, like, that there's something happening that you haven't planned for, and this character becomes like real. Not real, but like real in my head. So also for this book, for No Strings Attached, I will not be revealing my inspiration, because one of the characters is based on someone I know in real life, and I wouldn't ever want this to come out. So only my wife knows. Not a celebrity, so it doesn't matter anyway, right? I may or may not reveal her love interest, because that is a celebrity. So anyway, apart from that, typing the end is pretty satisfying, although, just starting on a new book can be pretty satisfying as well. Although, when you sit in front of the blank page, it can be a bit daunting, but I don't know. I probably didn't answer that question very well. I should think about it a little bit more. So I think I'm gonna leave it leave it here. I hope you have a great weekend. Send me some questions. Sorry for being a bit whiny in this episode. Be better next week. And thank you for watching. Peace out.